Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
This is the Apollo Audio Podcast. Welcome to the Apollo Audio Podcast. Yeah. We'll get straight in. Thursday afternoon? Thursday morning.
Is it? What's time?
We don't need to tell people. People don't care. Do people care when we're recording this?
I don't know.
Maybe it makes sense in terms of, like, you can time and place us in terms of what's going on. So if we sound sad,
we're always here around 11ish. Midweek.
Always here on it. Yeah, midweek 11ish. If anyone wants to join us. We were just saying before we come on, not a lot to talk about this week, but I did want to ask you about this because I think it's sort of interesting for people that are into music, or you might just go, oh God, not that again. Have you seen that Spotify have done a deal with all the major labels about the use of AI?
No.
It's interesting because there's a lot of talk about AI and the legality or illegality of it or whatever. And this is the announcement that they've made is that they have gone into direct negotiation with the three majors. Can we remember who the three majors are?
Universal,
Sony, and Warner Music. Right, that's the three majors who basically own music. Anything that isn't independent. If you're not signed to anything, you're owned by them. If you're signed to anything, you're probably still owned by them. Even if it doesn't appear like you are. But they've gone into an actual deal with Spotify to cover licensing for use with AI, which is a good thing.
What does that mean?
Think. Well, because one of the objections about AI is that there's so much illegality about it. So because they're using data to train the AI models, the AI needs to use existing information in order to create anything. It's not generative of itself. It goes and finds everything that ever existed. So the argument is that the reason these AI-generated music models, for example, can make a song that sounds like Taylor Swift is because it's illegally gone and captured all Taylor Swift's music.
Oh, I see.
And then used that to generate a Taylor Swift-sounding song. And the argument is that should be protected by copyright because she hasn't licensed that for use for that purpose. Just using Taylor Swift as an example, the problem is that it's not specific to individual artists. What's happening is they're just going and scraping all of this data from wherever they can in order to train the AI models. So that affects movies, videos, books, music, anything that's been previously protected by copyright. So, well, how are they training these AI models? Great that they can generate stuff, but what data are they using? And if it's mine, shouldn't I get paid for it? So it's good that it appears that Spotify have taken a step specifically to go, right, we know that AI is going to be a thing, but we're going to use it legally, or we're going to use it conscientiously, in that there will actually be licensing agreements. The difficulty is there doesn't seem to be much data, much information about what that actually means.
I thought he was going to say they've gone in with them saying, we're not going to use AI music on Spotify. I thought that would be the better thing, wouldn't it?
Well, that may be part of it. It might be. But so there's very little information about what it actually means. Because it could mean that they might say that because if they can't prove that it's licensed, then they won't be able to use it because it's not licensed. In the same way that they can't... Neil Young was a good example. Taylor Swift were a good example in the past as well, where they didn't appear on streaming platforms because Neil Young said, I don't want any of my music on streaming platforms. It wasn't licensed to be on it. So you can't just appear. It needs to be agreed. And, you know, when you as a band, if you put stuff on, you're basically signing an agreement to say, it's okay for me to put this out. In fact, I was asked this question the other day by an artist who said, can I stop my music being on Spotify? I said, of course you can. So once it's up there, so can I take it down? Of course you can, because they don't own the right to do it. You give them the right to do it. And if you don't want it on there, you can take it down. How quick it happens, how effective their administration is, that's a different question. But yeah, you own the rights to whether it appears on there or not. Anyway, I thought it looks like, and one of the sort of background issues is, do we trust Spotify with anything anyway in terms of, you know, okay, this is what they say they're going to do, but what will actually happen in reality? But it looks like a positive step to recognise artist copyright and intellectual property in relationship to AI. That looks like a positive step. And certainly their press statement seems to back that up in the way that they're talking about what they say about the importance of artist copyright and owning their own music and owning the rights to what happens to their music. It all seems very positive statements. I just thought it was worth mentioning.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
Sometimes it is like, what do we actually mean by AI? Like, say, what is the problem with it? Is it just that stuff's being made? It's not just that stuff's being made, it's how it's being made and what information they're using to do it. And that's what's problematic. Even at the bottom end of the music business, if you like, because if your music exists and it's being scraped illegally, then your music is being used to train AI models and you're getting no benefit from that. In fact, it's a negative, because if AI is going to take some of your streaming income, that's no good for you.
Does it get to a point in the world where AI just writes all the books for us, does all the music? Like, what do we do as creative people? It can't get to that stage, can it?
I mean,
and will the general public just accept it, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've kind of touched on this before. I have a view on that. There will always be people who don't care to not care. It's just all they want is music, and they don't care. People used to talk about like lift music, or what did they call it? Elevator music, or there's another word for it. But it's just music. It needs to be some noise that's in the background. So they would put some music on that's just like, no one's listening. No one's going, hey, this is a banger. It's just there. And occasionally you might recognise it, but it's just there. It's just background music, and it was made specifically for that purpose, just to be there.
Yeah.
And I think AI is great at doing that kind of stuff. Just make some stuff up.
But
if you just want some background music, do you care what it is?
No, true. But that is still people's jobs that have been taken from that.
And that is that's a difficulty. I had that conversation with a friend who was saying, but if I'm writing sort of 30-second bits to sell for to download for sync for £5, so you've got a problem there. If someone just wants a 20-second stab for the middle of a podcast, AI could potentially generate that really quickly and really cheaply.
But how do you stop? Say you've got the software to do it. Say, make me a indie banger that sounds like Arctic Monkeys and The Strokes or whatever. Yeah. But you learn how to play it. What's stopping people from doing that? You're not just using that. Yeah. You're getting the idea and then writing down how to play it on the guitar and then call it your own.
Yeah, nothing. And I don't know how different that is from just listening to a song by Arctic Monkeys in the first place. Yeah. And going, I'm inspired by that. I want to write.
But they don't give you
this song.
Yeah, no. You haven't got the structure there unless you just completely rip them off.
Yeah, I mean, it is really difficult, right? There's a lot of grey area within it. What I do believe is that there will be, in the same way that there is at the moment, not everyone goes and buys music, not everyone goes and streams music, not everyone goes to gigs. Yeah. In the same way that's true, not everyone will, there will be people who care passionately about it not being AI and will seek out non-AI stuff that's specifically, because they'll want to know it's the real deal. That'll definitely apply to, I can't see an immediate future where people are not going to live events, not wanting to see real people play real instruments. But I do think there will be a situation where AI-generated music, AI-generated video is being used as a tool by people who just need fast productivity, need something quick, need something that's just a placeholder, need something that inspires ideas, need something to say to a proper composer, I want something like this, but not this. I think there's lots of space for creativity still to come. I do believe, exactly as you said, there will AI, maybe music will get used, but it'll be used by people who really don't care what it is. Yeah. And I think we've got to rely on the fact that there will always be people who really do care what it is.
Will you start going to see holograms live if it's an AI artist? Yeah. I know Gorillaz sort of had that sort of thing, but they are, it's Damon Albarn and
and they're actually there.
Yeah. But will you just go see a hologram and it's just like seeing a DJ, isn't it? Pre-played stuff.
I think so. I mean, I know they've
I can see it in that sort of world. I can't see it in the world where it's a live venue and you just watch, because it's not real. You like the human element, don't you? You can't.
I think there'll still be, as a spectacle, I can see it like the ABBA show is that. It's like, it's different. It doesn't exist it can't exist in any other form other than that. So that's its selling point. But, I think if you could go and see Oasis live now, or you could go and see a hologram of Oasis, you'd go and see Oasis because they're real, they're actually there. Cheaper. And you're enjoying it. Anyway.
It's just going to change. I think it'll probably get to the point where there is that sort of world and that sort of world. I don't think it will take over, it will just be part of the world.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, we've always had, historically, it's always been the same, recorded music overtaking live performance goes back centuries. It's not the same. It's not real. They're not actually there. Yeah, it's on a record. People buy records, then people stop buying records, then they buy records again, then they buy them in a different format. Yeah. Or TV will kill cinema, or video killed the radio star. Yeah, yeah. It's, we've had these conversations over and over again. Only time will tell. Yeah. There you go.
That's the chat over.
Wow. Tense. So this week's album is by Faith No More, which was sort of... I was tempted to have a listen to Faith No More off the back of listening to Linkin Park. Because, as you said last week, no, it's not really your kind of music. So it's not my kind of music. I mean, that's I can see why that's
Linkin
true.
Park or Limp Bizkit?
Sorry, Limp Bizkit. Yeah, we didn't listen to Linkin Park, did we? We listened to Limp Bizkit.
I did listen to Linkin Park.
Oh, you did listen to Linkin Park as well. No, we did Chocolate Starfish album last week. And as I say, you were saying, that's not your kind of thing. But that's not strictly true, because I do listen to stuff within that same sort of ballpark. Yeah. And whilst I was sort of into indie Britpop, also grunge, but also weird stuff like Marillion and things like that. And I was thinking on the way here actually. When I was sort of late teens, early 20s, I was listening to a lot of sort of European metal, electro metal stuff. Yeah, like I had a lot of things like that, and I was really into things like On You Sound System with Adrian Sherwood and Tackhead and Mark Stewart and the Mafia and stuff like that. So that, there's all sorts of patterns of things that you listen to over time. And I remember really liking Faith No More, and I had at least 2 of their albums. I might have had 3, but definitely had 2. So Angel Dust was the one we decided to do, which was 92. And I had the album before that as well, which was probably their bigger breakthrough album. It had Epic on it. And
was that the one before? I thought it was after. So the ones that I knew, Epic, that was always on rotation on Kerrang in the mid-noughties, so I knew that really well. And then... I'd never listened to Radio 6, but on the way to... someone put it on the car, and I heard We Care A Lot. I was like, this is a banger as well.
That's what made me think of that late 80s period when I was going to this... I used to go to this late-night club in Edinburgh called The Mission. Yeah. I think it opened up at like 11:30 at night and stayed open till 2 or something like that. And because it was all this sort of, say, electro, indie, European dance music stuff, and one of the ones I remember that they played on rotation was We Care A Lot.
Yeah. Great.
And that was my first introduction to Faith No More. The Real Thing was the album before, and it's got what else is on it? Fall to Pieces, I think, was another hit from that, and From Out of Nowhere, that was the other one. Yeah. So that was their.
Is that another cover as well? Is War Pigs a cover?
War Pigs is we actually listened to that recently, Billy. That's Black Sabbath.
Yeah. They've got another cover on this album, haven't they?
Yeah. A couple of covers on this one. On Angel Dust. Yeah. But I think the previous one, The Real Thing, was their big sort of breakthrough one. Because that was the first album with Mike Patton, who replaced their original singer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can't remember what the original singer, but We Care A Lot was a different singer to everything else that's been done by Faith No More, basically.
But We Care A Lot is not Mike Patton?
No.
That sounds like him.
Yeah.
That's mental.
It's not him, though. That's
mad.
It's a different singer.
Blow my mind.
So the point of that was that on that The Real Thing album, a lot of the songs had been written prior to Mike Patton joining. Yeah. So he didn't have that much to do with the writing, whereas Angel Dust, he was very integrated in the writing. So I suppose that might explain why stylistically it does move on quite a bit.
So this is my first thoughts. When you said Faith No More, I was like, oh, cool. Yeah. I know Epic. I love Epic. It's always been on my playlist. Heard We Care A Lot recently. It was like, this will be good. It's sort of my sort of thing, sort of rappy rock metal thing. Metal,
bit of hip hop influence and stuff.
Yeah, but I heard what's the first one called again? My Spotify's not working.
The first one on this album is Land of Sunshine.
Land of Sunshine. Weird track. Not a bit like opens. I suppose it sets the tone for the album, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah. It does sort of let you know what you're in for. And then I don't think that if you've heard the singles before, you might be a bit surprised.
Yeah, it's not particularly hooky, I suppose, but so it says in. And then I think I said to you first of all, when I first listened to it, I accidentally listened to it on shuffle when it went straight to easy. Yeah, and I was like, this is weird. And because that's actually the last track on the album.
This is not what I expected from Faith No More. Yeah, it's the last track. I think it was a bonus track.
Yeah,
or classed as a bonus track.
And then, honestly, first listen, I thought, Christ, Martin's music taste is weird. If he slagged me off to listen to Limp Bizkit, I was like...
which I didn't, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I had, yeah.
If you didn't get Limp Bizkit, I was like, how'd you get this?
Yeah.
And then I was like, there's a couple bits, but then you sort of like fade out, and it's like, I suppose it lost me in the first few tracks, and I sort of, not gave up, I listened to it the whole way through. Came back to it, listened to it twice again yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's not all my favourite, but there are some bangers on there. It's like Smaller and Smaller is a bit of me.
Yeah.
I think a Small Victory, Malpractice. There's so many, like, the ones where they stick to a genre are the ones that I really like. The ones where it's just, what the hell's going on? A bit like Primacy.
What the hell's going on?
And I don't want to, again, this can sound really bad, but it's like, do you know when you join your first band and you just try and put all your influences done at once? Yeah. Like, you try and put everything in, you might have like a Latin section there, like a little weird bit. And then
you haven't found your sound yet.
Yeah, it sounds like a really, really good teenage band. Yeah. You get what I mean? It's just everything. And then when they stuck to the songs that are that, and don't get me wrong, I love the fusion stuff, the rap metal sort of stuff, but when it just went really like far, like, not death metal-y, but like with the contrast and like the instrumentation, my ear just wasn't used to. Yeah. So that sort of like circus music, that diddly diddly diddly. I put it on. Me and Charlotte both in the flat yesterday because we was doing housework, and I put it on in the background. And she told me to say this actually. Have you ever seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you know that there's like this puppet scene?
Oh, I don't remember it very well, but okay. Yeah, I'll have to take your word for it.
Yeah, and there's like, it sounds like Dracula is singing their songs. It's all very like theatrical, weird music. Yeah. Honestly, if you can find that like puppet show in there and listen to it, it's like she's not wrong. She actually thought I was just like the Forgetting Sarah Marshall soundtrack, and
it's very deliberate. I think I read about this album that they wanted to go very cinematic, or have a big sort of scale to it, and so it was a deliberate, and I think it did throw a lot of people off who were familiar with the previous work, and it was like, what the hell is this? Yeah. They did have massive hits off of this, and I think my experience of listening to this was, this is great because I really like this album. Yeah. And listening back to it, I thought, no, I really like the singles from this album. Yeah. And the rest of it, I probably didn't listen to that much. Having said that, because it is an album, the bits that I was more familiar with, the beginning of it, I remember a lot. The end of it, I remember less. Yeah. Is that because it starts strongly, or just because you kind of like, sometimes it's just because I don't have time to listen to the whole thing. I've listened to the first 6 and now I've got to go out or something. I have to say, I had a similar experience to you. I listened to it having thought, I remember this album really well, and the thing, I don't remember this album really well, and I really like it, and I was a bit thrown as well. I thought this is good until about halfway, and then I've lost what it's about.
Where am I?
Yeah, what is going on? I had that experience, and you were saying you listened to it again. I thought I will listen to it again. I've got to say, second listen, I enjoyed it a lot more.
Oh, so much better.
A lot more.
So much better. Time round. You hear that? I don't think the hooks are obvious. Yeah. And then I do think it does pick up midway through for me. Yeah. And then we talk a lot about track listing. It is very up and down and sort of... I think it does find its groove about midway through. And I don't know if your ear is sort of more trained to it.
I think maybe. I love the theatricality of it. Even the stuff that you're talking about, like with the sort of...
circus music.
That circus descending chord. Which if you hear it, you'll know exactly what we mean. It's hard to describe. But it's about... Who did that? Blur did it on one of their songs as well. To the End? I think, by Blur, I think it's got a similar kind of thing. That's one of the things, especially on second listen, I really appreciated about this, was the theatricality of the songs and the arrangements and the instrumentation. I thought they've been pretty brave on this. They've gone to the edge of what their audience might expect. Yeah. But also, I really love the vocal performance of it, because there's so much of it. There's that sort of rap vocal type stuff that he does. There's the singing stuff that he does. And then there's just really performative stuff that he does as well, which is just like, I don't know, acting out a role or something like that.
There's another guy, because his music, maybe we've got to do that one day, but he's the Mr. Bungle.
Yes, yeah.
Apparently that's just odd, isn't it? Yeah. So
I don't know.
They knew that they were getting into if they hired him as their like new singer. They knew that we were getting if he's the Mr. Bungle singer. Yeah. Which again, I think I tell you what I'd love to do next. It put me in the mood. Put me in the mood is probably the wrong word, but it's like, if this is weird, how am I going to react to Primus? Oh yeah. And I was like, do we stick to the 90s sort of experimental? Because they're massive.
Yeah.
And every song I've listened to, I was just like, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
And I do want to go down more that route we've talked about before, like listen to albums that we wouldn't usually listen to, rather than just showing each other albums that we like.
Yeah, I think
it'd be quite
especially
cool.
those ones that are massively successful.
Yeah.
Because we've kind of, recently we haven't done anything that has any... Well, we've done a few, incidentally, you kind of go, oh, I didn't think that would be there, but we did, even things like The Queen is Dead by the Smiths,
Yeah, yeah.
it is on the Rolling Stone 500 list.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit, not on there.
No.
Faith No More, not on there. And it's partly... It's good that you kind of go, well, I think, should these be on there?
Yeah.
And why are they not on there? When you think of some of the things that are,
Yeah.
this album would probably be in my top 500.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it'd be very high,
Yeah.
necessarily.
It'd
but
be 500.
No, I'm not even sure it'd be that low. But, you know, when you think about 500 albums is a lot. If I had to think about 500 albums that
Yeah.
I really like, even if it was because I'd forgotten about something else, and go, oh, yeah, actually, that should be
Yeah.
there. I'm pretty sure this and another album by Faith No More and the previous one by this would probably be on my top 500.
Yeah.
Because I've struggled to think of 500 albums.
Like, you've got loads of albums that you like the singles, you know the singles of the
Yeah.
album, but an actual, I couldn't tell, you probably struggle for like a top 100, not known 500 worth
Yeah.
of albums that you like completely.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It'd be in,
Yeah.
it would be in my, I'm not saying it would be in everyone's top
Yeah.
500, but I think it would be in my top 500. And that's
Yeah.
part of the thing about this. You know, we've done things like Jimmy Eat World with Lemmy Eaton,
Yeah.
which is like, he's just like, no, people should listen to this album because it's great. And it's not going to be on the Rolling Stone top 500 albums, but it's definitely kind of, oh yeah, this is good. I like this.
Yeah.
Same with Limp Bizkit. If you're like, you've got, okay, it's not going to hit the, critically maybe not acclaimed,
Yeah.
but commercially massive.
Yeah. Well,
And
the thing
lots
with
of
Rolling
people
Stone
love it.
and that, they're trying to be eclectic and all them bits, but
Yeah.
not everyone's music taste goes that far.
Some of it, yeah.
My top 500 be rap, rock and metal stuff. I'm not going to have like a Marvin Gaye album on there. I'm not
No.
saying he's not great. He is, but he's not going to be in my top 500.
Yeah, some of it is, I've heard someone else say this, with any list like that, some of it is people saying, look how clever I am.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we've said before, things like, Marvin Gaye, #1 on that Rolling Stone list, critically highly acclaimed. Commercially, it doesn't sell very many.
Yeah.
Things that people think are good and things that are popular are not,
Yeah.
very often not the same thing
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all. One of the things about picking songs off the 500 list was it did force us to listen to stuff,
Yeah.
especially when we were doing it randomly.
Yeah.
As you would end up going, oh, we've got to listen. Do we want to listen to this? We have to listen to this
Yeah.
because we have to make a judgment on it.
Yeah.
See, at the moment, both of us are doing things that basically we know already. Nick Cave being an example of where we didn't. We kind of went there because neither of us really knew
Yeah.
it. So we thought, and we knew that other people liked it.
Well, at least you can say, no, that's not for me.
Yeah.
And
But
then-
it was, you're right, it's good to listen to stuff that you wouldn't necessarily...
Because I'm not very
seek
good
out
at listening to
normally.
new stuff. As like comes out, I was like,
Yeah.
it's, you get into a groove when you've reached, like when you're 14, you listen to everything, don't you? Because you want to, you're so new. It's like you get into a new hobby, you want to,
Yeah.
but you sort of, you like what you like at this stage. You sort of,
Yeah.
not that you've heard it all.
But you do get introduced to stuff by your friends as well. To
Yeah.
have you heard this
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, yeah.
And you know, it's not all about. And that's what's great about this as well. Is it's not driven by streaming algorithms saying, "Oh, if you like this, you'll like that."
Yeah.
Because that's sometimes true, but it does keep you in the same envelope a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas one of your mates going, "You'll never believe what I've just heard.
Yeah.
This is great. It's the greatest thing I've ever heard. You've got to check it out."
Yeah.
And when then you start to like the same things.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I got into Faith No More, because I heard it at a club, people were dancing to it, like it, and it's off the back of one track. And then the next time you hear a thing by Faith No More, you say, oh yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
And then you get to know the band, and then by the time that album comes out, I'm buying that album. And then by the time the third album, Angel Dust, comes out, I'm buying it on trust that I know what Faith No More
Yeah.
is. And maybe heard things like Midlife Crisis and Small Victory and the singles that came
Yeah.
out of it, going, yeah, this is stuff that I like.
Yeah.
As an album, a bit more challenging than that, because those are easier to consume. Those singles, they're not as challenging.
Yeah.
But it's there's definitely stuff on this that I love it. Like again,
Really
even if
cool.
even if it's not kind of, oh, this is the best song ever. There's like, I really love what's going on here. Just as kind of, this is a good way of making music.
I think there's something on it for everyone. If you like your straight up metal, there's some tracks. If you like theatre, there is
Yeah.
some tracks.
Yeah.
If you like your fusion music, you're gonna love it. But
If you like
I think
rock music.
stick with it,
Yeah.
and don't judge it by the first 3 or 4 tracks.
Yeah.
And definitely give it.
Well,
a,
I mean, I would judge it on the third track.
What was the third track?
Definitely Midlife Crisis. I think it's
Is that the
big hit single. Everything's Ruined.
Yeah.
Hit single. Small
I
Victory.
love Smaller and Smaller. That was my favourite
Yeah,
one.
it's good. Yeah.
That, it did make me, like I said, I think if you chose this one, if you don't mind me choosing a Primus one, let's go for another weird one.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, that means nothing to me. I have.
Do you not know Primus at all?
I know the name. I
They
honestly,
do South Park theme song.
Is that Primus? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, now I do know Primus. Okay.
Yeah. And it's just, they're a three-piece of just weirdness. Like metal emphasis, slap bass, and just dissonant chords and spoken word stuff. So another difficult listen this week.
We might have to do. If we're doing difficult listens, or challenging first listens, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because I think there's stuff to love, and it might be the same with Primus. We'll do Primus, and then we'll do Cardiacs.
Okay. Right, so we've got a difficult couple of weeks.
Cardiacs are a massive cult act.
Yeah.
That people who like them love them.
Yeah.
And other people go, what the fuck is
Yeah,
this? Yeah. But we could go for that. Yeah, I said second listen. I really enjoyed this a lot. First one is like, why did I like this?
Yeah,
Almost.
yeah.
Second time, it was like the only one that I found massively. I'm a bit fed up now. Was the Jizzlobber, which is the third to last track.
Yeah.
I found it a bit kind of there's too much going on.
Yeah. You've sort of found it, you sort of get it, and then they throw another like spanner in the works.
Yeah,
like...
and it is right at the end, and it's a long track.
Yeah.
I was kind of maybe I'm done. Maybe you could have done without that one, but then they follow that up with the theme from Midnight Cowboy.
Imagine just saying that. That's a weird sentence, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just instrumental theme from Midnight Cowboy, and it's funny because it's a really good tune. It's John Barry, I think, isn't it? I think they don't even play it very well. I don't think.
I'm sorry, looking up this meme is so weird. I don't know if it's like the algorithm just doing it, but I kept seeing this meme going around about on Mike Patton.
Oh yeah.
So it's Rick Rubin and Mike Patton, and it reads, so Rick Rubin saying this: my mother had died. Mike Patton has shown up to a funeral in a pinstripe suit with a hat, cane, and cornrows. He kept telling my very Christian family he was in a death metal band that had an album about the Easter Bunny. What album would that be?
I have no idea.
In his eulogy about his dead mother, he did it in a Daffy Duck voice for my mother and moved her mouth. He dropped his pimp cup in the casket. If I ever see him again, I'm going to beat the shit out of him. I can't imagine that's real now. Now I've read that out loud. But it's everywhere on like social media, that one. But it's one of the ones where he's such a weirdo that you probably would sort of do it.
He did it in a Daffy Duck voice whilst
And
moving
moved their
her
mouth.
mouth.
That's outrageous.
You can't do that.
That's so weird. It's like the week we listened to it, that kept popping up.
How odd. And then, see, Easy, the last track on this was a big hit.
Yeah.
Because people knew what it was already. It was like by the Commodores.
Yeah. Things I love Easy, it's one of my favourite songs, but
Yeah.
it always throws me off. There's some like weird time signature bits in there. It goes like da 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 da.
Yeah.
There's so many push bits. It's not like a normal like pop song.
Yep.
So it's a hard one to play.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You have to practice it.
if you asked me last week, and I didn't enjoy it, and then a few days ago, yesterday, really did quite enjoy it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad we did it.
I think, honestly, I'm glad I went back and listened to this, and I think I might listen to it again, basically. But I still think the singles, for me, and you seem to have a different perspective on this. Actually.
I didn't know what the singles were going into it.
The singles from this were Midlife Crisis, Everything's Ruined, Be Aggressive, bizarrely, and A Small Victory. And Easy, obviously, was a sort of bonus track. Later on became a hit. Thing. But those have, I would playlist them, always have playlisted them ever since this came out. I think they're great. And just a little side note on that as well, reading about this, I hadn't realised this album's full of samples.
Oh, is it?
Yes, but but what's interesting is they're really, they're not very obvious samples at all, the stuff that they're using. Like Midlife Crisis has a sample from a Simon and Garfunkel song called Cecilia.
Yeah.
And it's just integrated with the drum track.
Oh, cool.
So they did it. I think Cecilia's got like a kick clap thing.
Yeah.
And it's in the track. And now that I know it, I can absolutely hear it.
Oh, that's cool.
But I never realised that's what that was at all.
That's why
there's lots of samples like that across this album. Apparently, there's loads of samples that they've picked up from various places, but they're unusual in that they're not You know what I mean? With a lot of samples, you kind of go, I can hear it. I know what that is. That's from that thing. But the way that they've used them is a bit more musical, and I think that's
cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. Have they got like a DJ, like sampler in the band then? Was that
Don't think
production?
so. Don't think so.
That's cool.
I think that was just a sort of production choice, yeah. Anyway, there you go. Faith No More. We'll decide. What we did see? Primus, we said, didn't we?
Primus.
It's declared now.
It's done.
I promise I won't edit it out this week.
Yeah,
I do that when I want to change it. I go like, I'll just edit that out so we can change our minds.
Another difficult listen. And I don't know if they've got an actual...
We're not changing our minds. Yeah, what album are we going to listen to?
Sailing the Seas of Cheese is the most listened to, I think.
What album?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Sailing the Seas of Cheese.
Sailing the Seas of Cheese.
It's got Tommy the Cat, which is probably one of the biggest ones.
All right, Sailing the Seas of Cheese. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got to pick one.
Why are we doing this?
We've got to pick that one. I don't know. Tune in next week for a 5-minute episode.
Yeah. Of hate.
about Primus.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Billy.
Thank you, Martin.
Always good to talk to you. Thank you for listening, everyone. Check us out online at Apollo Audio Podcast on Instagram, and it's apolloaudiopod@gmail.com.
Yes.
is the email address.
And
I've realised again, we have to do it at the end, never properly introduced ourselves at the beginning because I always forget to do it. I was Martin Lumsden doing this, and I was joined as always by Billy Hills.
Hello.
I don't know, maybe I edit this in later on. I don't know, I can pick up from a previous episode.
They must know who we are by
something
now,
like
surely.
that.
They don't.
No, but podcast, it's what do you call it? It's podcast thingy.
We'll just have to paste it at the beginning of each week.
I know, I'll have to do it at the beginning. It's a thing, you're supposed to do it. Hi, everyone does it, all the top podcasts do it. Gary Lineker does it. You know who Gary Lineker is?
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, bye.
You sure you forgive me?